Yes, big recruiting day. This
Oh,
is I see a lot of Aztec fans are really excited.
well, do you want me to throw cold water on you now or wait till the show's over? I don't want you to get chilled here in the studio. San Diego State signed 18. They signed a full offensive line, 5 linemen. They signed a massively big defensive line. They got 3 defensive linemen. They got 14 more scholarships to use. They say they're going to use them in a transfer portal that opens up on December 9th. So things are going to move at very fast pace. But what's happening at San Diego State is what I feared was going to happen. Their players are jumping ship. They've gone into the transfer portal. There are 8 that have already announced they're leaving, including the backup young quarterback, Javance Johnson, who we had flashes who I thought played very well. He's not staying, including the young wide receiver, Jordan Napier, who really came on, caught 43 balls. He's gone. Jalen Armstead, who never really got a chance to get off the bench this year because of Marquez Cooper, he's opted out. He's going to transfer. Florida State quarterback A.J. Flynn's gone. So I don't know how Sean Lewis is going to be able to make any progress if he keeps losing volumes of players. You know, last year they had 42 going to the portal, didn't want to stay and be with the new coach. 11 of them were veterans who wound up going to big time other programs and playing and starting. If he can't maintain the guys he's recruited, then he's going to just he'd be filling holes year by year. How do you make any progress? Remember the TV show Sesame Street? Ernie and Bert. Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Brought to you by the word of the day is, the word of the day at San Diego State is continuity. And if he can't have continuity from year 1 to year 2 because he's losing another group of players, that's a big time problem. So we'll see. I mean, he talks a good game, Sean Lewis does, but they were 3-9, and now he's got 8 guys already into the portal. And he's losing 24 guys who are graduating, led by Marquez Cooper. So no decision yet on Trey White, but I would assume Trey White's going to get offered a pile of money by somebody as a pass rush guy, and he might be going somewhere big time too. So it's a big issue there. USC Trojans, 6-6 football season. Nobody's forgotten this. This is just not good. Trojans, 13 players decommitted.
13
from the beginning of the football season till the morning of signing date this past week. 13 vacated the program. Then Lincoln Riley lost his linebacker coach, Mark Entz, who was just hired to take the Fresno State job. Entz was really good at what he did. He was a former head coach at North Dakota State, 60-10. 1 year at USC, gets hired by Fresno yesterday. So on signing day, their top 2 linebacker recruits left. They went other places rather than stay at USC because the guy that recruited them isn't going to be at USC. They got 1 quarterback. They had lost a top quarterback. The attrition is really hard. They've lost so many players. They lost 2 potential starters in the offensive line, just announced they're transferring. It's just a bad set of circumstances for Link Riley, and they're 6-6. And this seems like a low point in Trojan football. And at UCLA, boy, what a bad 24 hours. The quarterback of the future, who had started this season, in the middle of the season, Justice Martin, jumps into the transfer portal the morning of signing date. Logan Loya, top wide receiver, he goes into the transfer portal. TJ Harden, top running back, he goes into the transfer portal. Then they lost their top recruit, a quarterback, went to Arkansas at the last minute, lost a receiver, went to Arkansas, and lost a defensive end, went to Notre Dame. And if that's not enough, they just fired Eric Bieniemy.
Really?
As offensive coordinator, assistant head coach after 9 months on the job.
Unbelievable.
Obviously, that's got something to do with the loss of the quarterback who, the morning of signing, signed at Arkansas instead of UCLA. Also got something to do with the fact that Bieniemy's playbook was too complicated, too much verbiage. They were 117th in total offense, 126th in scoring, 130th in running the football in Division One. There's only 133 schools. So this turned out to be really bad. Bieniemy was asked to leave, is gone. 9 months into the job, and I thought he was going to be a massively big difference maker for Deshaun Foster. So, John, I think there's issues at San Diego State. They need continuity. There's a lot of issues at USC about game management, play calling, and why 13 defected from USC's recruiting list. And the mess now that UCLA's got, losing guys in the portal and then making the decision to get rid of Eric Bieniemy. So you got a lot to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about, and it's complicated. So we're talking about a lot of these high school players that we really don't know. Now, the coaches and the recruiters know, not me. But I'll say this, is that I expected there were going to be a lot of guys jumping ship at San Diego State because, to your point, they played Cooper like all the time at running back. They had 3 or 4 other running backs that barely touched the ball. So them leaving, the backup quarterbacks leaving doesn't surprise me, because apparently one of the new quarterbacks that has been recruited
from Long Beach
is a really highly ranked guy.
Yeah.
So maybe he's better than Duffy or the other kid was Johnson. Yeah. If he's better than those characters. It's funny too, the SC and USC, such prestigious schools academically. They're kind of seeing this in athletics, what happens in academics, where people will commit to a college, but then they commit to 3 or 4 other colleges, and they see what better bids come in, and then eventually they take the sweetest pot. Right?
That's what's happened. I mean, and the fact that UCLA is like an outcast. I don't think anybody emotionally really believes that they have any future in the Big Ten, but they're in the Big Ten. Now, there's a lot of people don't believe that USC's got the right coach in Link Riley, and only time will tell whether they stay with this guy, though he's being paid volumes of money. So UCLA's got a huge player personnel problem, and obviously a coaching problem. And it's shocking to me that 13 marquee players, including 9 from California, decommitted and went other places. Notre Dame recruited as many kids in this state as USC recruited. And this is USC, Trojan football, student body right, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Just wow. So we'll track this as we go. The transfer portal opens on Monday, December 9th. That's when officially everybody signs to go to the portal, and you can start signing guys out of the portal. We'll see how quickly that Sean Lewis moves, and then we'll see what happens with SC and UCLA, because they're going to have to be active in the portal because they lost so many players.
All chances to improve these teams, and all 3 of them need to improve.
All 3 of them right now, it's a lot worse than anybody could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
Not good at all. Hey, we get to halftime.